Hello everyone, this is Anuj from Gadget Kick. Asus recently launched two budget phones, the Zenfone Lite L1 and the Zenfone Max M1. And today in this video, we will talk about the Zenfone Lite L1 and will compare this phone with the Xiaomi Redmi 6A. So let's start. Zenfone Lite L1 and the Xiaomi Redmi 6A both are considered as budget phones and available at a price tag of Rs 6000. So before we start the comparison of these phones, keep this in mind that they are the entry-level budget phones and most of the things will be either average or below average as compared to the mid-range or high segment phones. So let's start with the design and the build quality. Both the budget phones have polycarbonate back with a metallic finish and has curved edges. Redmi 6A has a design which we have seen mostly in Xiaomi's other phone, and on the top right we have the camera housing which looks like a dual camera setup, but it has the single rear camera along with the LED flashlight. Talking about the Zenfone Lite L1, the back design is simple with a single camera on the top right along with the LED flashlight and the Asus logo below it. In terms of build quality, both the phones are lightweight and easier to grip and hold, even though they are made up of plastic, but I personally find the build quality on both the phones pretty good and doesn't feel cheap at all. Looking at the front, both phones look similar with the 5.45-inch HD Plus display, which has an aspect ratio of 18:9. Both the phones are missing the 2.5D curved glass in the front and has the black bezels on the top and bottom. The viewing angles are pretty decent on both the phones, but here the Zenfone Lite has an advantage in terms of performance in direct sunlight, and that is due to the high brightness of 400 nits. Overall, there is nothing to complain about the display in both the phones, and the performance is at par, keeping in mind the price of both these phones. In terms of software, the Zenfone Lite L1 comes with the Zen UI 5.0, which is based on Android Oreo 8.0. And on the other hand, we get the MIUI 9, which is based on Android Oreo 8.1 in the Redmi 6A. At the time of making this video, we also got the update to the MIUI 10, which brought few new features including the AI portrait mode for the front camera, which I will show you in a moment. In terms of user experience, we get the almost stock experience in the Zenfone Lite L1 with no bloatwares and yes, no ads. Redmi 6A on the other hand has the MIUI, which feels also fluid and fast. But if you ask me, I prefer the Zen UI in the Zenfone Lite over the MIUI. I know there are a lot of people who likes the MIUI, but that again depends upon the personal preference. Both the skins are feature rich. For example, in the Zen UI, we get the audio wizard, battery optimizer app and so on. Now let's talk about the performance. Both the phones are optimized pretty good. Even though we have a 2GB memory, the RAM management is not that bad. Earlier when we reviewed the Redmi 6A, I wasn't happy with the performance of the phone and we noticed lots of lags and stutter even doing regular tasks. But on the other hand, the Snapdragon 430 powered Zenfone Lite performance is actually better and there were no lags and stutter while using it for normal tasks. And the overall performance of the Zenfone Lite is somehow feels better than the Redmi 6A. We know that you're getting an older generation processor in the Zenfone Lite, which used to come in the mid-range phones, but it performs slightly better than the MediaTek A22 which we get in the Redmi 6A. We also played PUBG on it and there we could see the difference in the performance clearly. Redmi 6A wasn't able to handle the game even in the lowest setting, but the Zenfone Lite L1 was able to give us good gaming experience in the medium settings with very less lags and frame drops. We have also done a detailed gaming review of both these phones on our Hindi channel Gadget Kick Hindi, and if you want to see that, I will leave the link to the video in the description below. Now moving towards the camera performance, while both the phones are entry-level budget phones and one should not expect too much out of it, but nowadays camera is one of the important factors while purchasing any phone in any price range. Zenfone Lite L1 and the Redmi 6A both has a 13MP rear camera and a 5MP front shooter. The aperture of the rear camera in the Zenfone Lite is the f2.0 as compared to the f2.2 in the Redmi 6A. And here are some sample pictures. The performance of both the phones in terms of camera is average and mainly depends upon the lighting condition. Redmi 6A photos has better color and definitely has more details in it, where the pictures taken from the Zenfone Lite is not far behind. But looking at the pictures clicked from these phones side by side, I personally find the Redmi 6A camera performance better. We also notice that the picture taken from the Zenfone Lite L1 has a cooler tone as compared to the warmer tone of the Redmi 6A. Portrait mode in both the phone is hit and miss and the blur background looks artificial. In terms of front camera, the 5MP front shooter of the Redmi 6A performs slightly better than the Zenfone Lite L1. And with the MIUI 10 update, the front camera of the Redmi 6A now can also take portrait photos. When it comes to low light, both the phones are below average and lack details. You will see the noise in the photos taken from both these phones in the low light or in the night time, which is expected with the phones in this price range. In terms of video, both phones can capture video at 1080p at 30 frames per second and doesn't support any sort of stabilization, which results in shaky videos with lack of details. So in short, the camera performance of the Redmi 6A is slightly better than the Zenfone Lite, especially the front camera performance. The rear camera output is almost same and you get the average performance from both these phones. Now let's talk about the battery and some other features. The battery on both the phones is 3000 mAh and with the moderate usage, you get the almost same battery backup. The charging time is also pretty similar as both the phones doesn't support fast charging. One thing I should mention here is that the Zenfone Lite L1 consumes more battery while gaming and performing heavy tasks because of the power-hungry Snapdragon 430 chipset. But again, because of that you get the better performance while gaming and other tasks. Both the phone comes with a mono speaker and the speaker location in the Zenfone Lite L1 is at the bottom of the phone where we get a speaker at the back in the Redmi 6A. We notice that the speaker performance of the Redmi 6A is far better than the Zenfone Lite where the volume feels little low, and we also tried to tweak it a bit with the outdoor mode and the audio wizard but still found the Redmi 6A audio performance better. And lastly, as there is no fingerprint sensor, both the phones support face unlock. Face unlock is sluggish in both the phones and takes some time to unlock the phone, and it doesn't work sometime in low light or in night time. So to sum it up, if you're looking for a budget phone under Rs 6000, then you can consider buying any of these phones. But still, to give you a better idea, if you're looking for a phone that has better performance and if you're also planning to play PUBG on it, then you should definitely consider the Zenfone Lite L1. That being said, if the camera is your priority, then the Redmi 6A performs better here than the Zenfone Lite L1. So to conclude, if you're on a strict budget of Rs 6000, then as mentioned earlier, for performance and better user experience, we pick the Zenfone Lite L1 as the winner here. Though we recommend you to extend your budget and look for the phones such as Realme C1 and the Zenfone Max M1, which offers better value for money. So that's it guys, this was the comparison of the Redmi 6A and the Zenfone Lite L1. Let us know which phone you like and why, and also tell us if you have any of these phones in the comment section below. And if you like this video, then please press the like button and subscribe to our channel Gadget Geek for more videos like this. Once again, this is Anuj signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.